G'day, guys. You are looking at game three from the Saturday Slugs Extravaganza. Right up now, we have Akhter Khan up against Suresh. And in the commentary box with me, we have the one and only Ben Lorking. How you going today, man?
Good, mate.
Fantastic. So thanks so much for jumping in. We were originally going to have Grant O'Dwyer commentate, with us, but unfortunately he had to pull out last minute. So a big thank you to Ben Lorking, a fellow XTC Australia member, for jumping in last minute. So which one do you want to go over? Do you want to go over the Scum or the Rebel Squad?
There's way more to go over in the Scum. I know it's less ships, but the Scum is way more interesting to me than the Rebel one. So maybe you start with the Rebel. I'll bring up the Scum one, just refresh myself with it, and then I'll be able to talk about it.
Beautiful. All right, so we have a pretty tried and true archetype here, an X-Wing and 3 A-Wings. So we have Luke Skywalker with his S-Foils. We have Wedge Antilles in an A-Wing with no upgrades. We have Ahsoka Tano in an A-Wing with instinctive aim and proton rockets. And the ever popular Hera Syndulla in an A-Wing with proton rockets as well. So the beauty of this squad is essentially you've just always got mods. So Luke Skywalker, fantastic double modification, 3 attack dice ship. We've got Ahsoka Tano, who can essentially fire those proton torpedoes with a target lock and force after spending an instinctive aim to ignore the focus requirement. She can also be a fantastic token battery for Hera, or a double modifier for Wedge. And then we have Hera to share all these tokens around. So this is a really good synergistic squad, and I'm really excited to see how it takes on the might of this Scum Squadron over here. So why don't you run us through the Scum Squadron?
All right, so Akhter's got here a really fat bobber. So he's sitting at 124 points, which is quite expensive for ships in X-Wing. I'll start with him first. So he's got Lone Wolf, which means if he's away from Bosk, greater than range 2, he can re-roll an attack or a defense dice just once per turn. But that can be so clutch, like when he's flying in the endgame. Lone Wolf is great for the endgame because there's no other friendly ships around anyway, and so just always being able to use it. Auto Blaster gives a it seems a bit odd on Boba Fett, but what it does is means that you can't cancel your crit results with evade results, so Boba's crit results, if you are, hang on, let me just bring it back up. If you are not in the defender's front firing arc, so if you're flanking them on the side or whatever, then they cannot be evading your crits. So then we've also got on there, we've got Lone Wolf, Auto Blaster, we've got Proximity Mines, which are big and nasty, take up a lot of space, and he's got 2 of those, so he can drop them before he moves, so in the system phase. He's got a hull upgrade, make him a bit more chunky. Contraband Cybernetic is one of my favourite illicit slots. It means that you can do actions while you're stressed, or you can do a stress maneuver and still take actions. So you can double stress yourself if you're already stressed. Anyway, lots of fun shenanigans can be had with Contraband Cybernetics. It's great. Marauder lets you re-roll one of your attack dice out to your rear gun. So Boba Fett's got a front and a rear gun. And then Han Solo is, before the engagement, you may perform a red focus action. So he can roll up, boost, or roll up and target lock, and then at the start of the engagement phase, get a focus as well, which is super good. Boski's got the party bus, so he's got Crackshot on the front, Zuckuss, Greedo, Forlom, Deadman switch for when he does die, because Bosk will die. Electronic Baffles gets rid of that stress that he'll be gaining with... Is it Greedo? It is with Zuckuss. That he can be gaining that stress to re-roll the defender's dice. So he can take a damage, get rid of that stress, still turn around. So it just makes him more maneuverable. I think that covers most of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, we're just having a little bit of a technical difficulty with the timer here. So hopefully that gets sorted out. I've just got one of the other guys working on it. So in the meantime, I'll just keep kind of updating you on how much time we have until we get that sorted. So apologies for the stream. So what do you think we're going to see here? Are we just going to see kind of Bosk slow roll and try and keep his engagement up as long as possible and push Boba into the end game?
Yeah, that's his goal. He needs to get Boba in the end game, and so he probably, looking at this matchup, he really needs to probably wipe out Luke, trade Luke for Bosk, and he might be okay, especially if a few of the proton torpedoes have gone off on Bosk. Then I think Boba is fine against the 3A wings without proton torpedoes. So that's probably his end goal, is trading enough, either getting rid of 2 ships or at least soaking up those proton torpedoes and getting rid of Luke. I think would get Boba in a very happy end game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've also got Akhter with the choice of first or second player. He has, of course, elected to be second player. I'm pretty sure. We'll just have to see because... Yeah, so the first player token shouldn't be there. I think it's off the view of the stream, so that's totally fine. But Akhter is moving second. So the only ship that he really has to worry about with Boba is Hera. So Hera's proton rockets going into Boba could cause a bit of an issue. But I guess just with Bosk and Boba constantly pressuring Hera, it could be avoided. So what are you going to do to mitigate the disadvantages of this matchup, Ben, for Suresh? What are you going to try and target first?
I just don't think I don't think Akhter's going to give him Boba to. Yeah. Sorry, just had kids run in on me. Yeah, I don't think Akhter's going to give him Boba. Really, if he could chew down Boba, he really needs to get Boba off the board. But I just don't think he can feasibly do that with Bosk still there. So, yeah, try and hold those proton torpedoes. If you can get rid of Bosk without using them, and keep them for Boba in the end game.
Yeah, 100%. The lack of Protectorate Gleb on Bosk might actually bite Akhter a little bit, in that you won't be able to kind of keep around or double modify his defense dice in terms of, taking a focus and a reinforce, for example. But I guess he doesn't want to be stressed anytime because of Han Solo. So the new way that that this ship works, so Boba actually lost his crew slot, so you can no longer have Perceptive Co-Pilot and Han Solo kind of feeding you at Initiative 5 in the beginning.
Or even better, having Force on there with Maul. Boba with Maul was broken.
Disgusting. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So do we think we're a little bit aggressive here with Ahsoka? Or are we just going to try and bait him in and then maybe take an evade with Hera, keep her alive, and then threaten those proton torpedo launches?
Maybe he's trying to get those protons off on Boba early, if he can pin Boba down. But yeah, it does seem a bit aggressive with Ahsoka.
Yeah, so here's Hera. He's going to keep token batteries in the middle of this squadron, just behind Wedge. Can feed tokens to both Luke and to Ahsoka. So that's really quite nice. What do you do here, though? Do you kind of speed in and try and get both proton torpedoes off at Bosk and just do as much damage as possible and then get behind? Or are you just going to try and split your forces here and get a good flank on Boba?
I think he needs to go all in on one, but I think if he's going to spend his proton torpedoes, especially both off each A-wing, I think he needs to make sure that he keeps all 4 ships in the end game. I think if he loses a ship and uses all his proton torpedoes, I don't think he's got much of an end game left.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And what do you do here with Bosk? Just a cheeky one bank left around the corner?
Yeah, you can afford to just keep slow roll. He takes up so much, like his firing arc is so massive, he can just roll in. He can be plinking out at those range 3s. It doesn't matter. getting those crits and splitting them. So just doing those extra damage.
Yeah, 100%.
So one thing I noticed, which I actually hadn't picked up on before, was A-Wing Ahsoka doesn't work on herself. She can't spend the Force to take an action herself because it's from range 1 to 2. Is that right?
Yeah, correct, exactly. So she's a little bit different to the Jedi Ahsoka in that that Jedi Ahsoka, sorry, the Republic Ahsoka, I guess you could say, does work on herself and only a single Force spend. But this is a quasi-coordinate at a longer range as well.
Yeah.
So who are you going to go for? Do you go all in on Boba, or do you just, because Luke's a bit out of position? I don't think he'd get any quality shots into Boba.
No.
So Akhter might even plug in a cheeky one hard right and come in towards the middle of the board edge, knowing that everyone's going to kind of really target up Bosk.
Yeah, he could, and get both on target pretty quickly to nail down one ship at a time. To be honest, if I was Suresh, I think the Luke should be sitting up here behind Ahsoka. Would be much better position somewhere. But
yeah, because even with all the rerolls in the world, Boba still only has 2 defense dice, so you can still get reliable spike damage through, and there's no better way to do that than, I guess, say a 4 dice double modded attack. Or a 5 dice double modded attack with Ahsoka or Hera.
Yeah.
So Deering 91, the man who just took me apart, just ever so casually in the most recent game. The colors of the A-Wing. So we've got Ahsoka is red and Wedge is yellow, and then we've got Hera as green. Sorry, so I'll try and update the colors. I've never done this before. I'm sorry. So I might just have I don't want to mess anything up. So yeah, we've got Ahsoka as red, Hera as green, and Wedge as yellow. So just keep that in mind while I try and figure out these colors.
So Boss just did a 1 stop, I'm assuming there, a 0 stop. Yep.
Okay, the colors should be sorted. Thank you very much, Deering, for shooting me that.
So Boss didn't do the 1 bank, did a 0 stop, even slower rolling than the 1 bank.
Interesting. What do you think about that move? Because if Ahsoka does decide to come in quickly here, she's going to have that gas cloud coverage. But I guess on the other hand, it does prevent her from getting a solid proton rocket shot.
To be honest, because Wedge came in so fast, I would have liked the 1 bank. It would have been a nice range 1 for Bosk into Wedge, probably doing some serious damage there.
Yeah, very true. I guess the only other thing is that, as I said, if you say do a 2 hard with Hera and then focus boost around to the 1 bank and then a 2 bank focus boost with Ahsoka, you're likely going to get both proton rockets off there. And now you're in a position to potentially bump them and prevent them from firing. So I think it's probably in Suresh's best interest to not take any boost actions and just focus, use the rock as a bit of cover, and slow roll next turn so he can get those proton rockets before he jumps over the top of Bosk. What do you think about that plan?
Yeah, definitely next turn needs to go slower. Try and get those proton rockets off for sure. Where's Hera go? I reckon Hera probably does a 2 or 3 hard to the left.
Correct.
Comes in that same channel with Wedge.
Yeah, correct. And that's a really good move with Ahsoka because force for the eyeball results and evade for the blank can still do instinctive aim or force charges to I mean, if for some reason Boba gets in front of Ahsoka and lets her fire the proton rockets, then there you go. But not going to do that. Gonna have. Do you reckon that's lone wolf range or no?
Oh, it's got to be close. That might be just out of range too, to be honest. Yep, I reckon that's just out of range too. I reckon he's got lone wolf on Bobber there.
And there's the 2 hard. So you probably just stay there. You've got a nice 2 forward with Ahsoka next turn. You've got a nice 2 bank with Hera next turn. You will be blocking. Yeah, 1 forward with Luke. You can block up Bosk with Wedge to prevent him from kind of getting in the way of these A-wings, which just allows you to reliably get off these proton rocket spike damage.
So here's a sneaky trick for you. He can electronic baffles off that stress and do another stop.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think that still allows Suresh to get the proton torpedoes off. But if you just baffle off the stress, then you could probably do a 3 hard around the corner to block up Ahsoka. But you're probably still going to get the proton rockets off of Hera.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hera tried to boost and did not fit.
Okay, would have bumped into the back of Wedge. I get it.
Oh, we are going to take a shield off Bosk. Gas clouds do not work on the eyeballs. It's the most frustrating thing in the world, isn't it? When you roll all eyeballs, you just want to see blanks for the first time in your X-Wing career.
And you've got no modifier there. You can't change it.
So luckily for Akhter, he does have the choice between an unobstructed and an obstructed shot into Ahsoka. Going to be taking an unobstructed shot, of course. Takes a stress token to give himself a focus off of Han. But it should only be 1 focus because there is no perceptive co-pilot. So you can see how long it's been since Akhter's played Boba. He was definitely used to the odd perceptive co-pilot Initiative 5 Han Solo trigger.
I think it'll be interesting to see if he brings up that lone wolf circle. I think he's further apart than range 2.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Should be 1 extra dice, and does have a lock and a focus and lone wolf.
Oh, it's just hitting the dice around.
Should also be 1 extra dice. I'm not sure why he's only rolling 2. Very interesting.
Was he using Auto Blaster?
Of course. There you go. Good catch. Nice.
Because he was out of arc. He couldn't dodge anything. You know, that crit that went through. Couldn't dodge it, so it's gone 1 on the shield on Terra.
Onto Ahsoka, yeah.
Onto Ahsoka, sorry.
And we are probably... I mean, do you spend the focus here to do 2 shields on Bosk? Because you are going to get shot back, and it's probably going to be a pretty dirty shot. That being said, Forlorn can just take 2 ions and prevent you spending the focus anyway.
You're better off spending it now.
You got the evade token from Hera. No, he's going to leave it.
Chooses not to? Yeah.
I guess forcing him to spend the ion is not bad as well. Now, here's a question. Do you use Ahsoka to bump Boba here? Or do you just let him get the flank, try and do as much damage to Bosk, get behind him, and make him a bit of a non-issue?
Sorry, what was that? So repeat that again, sorry.
No, it's all good. I was just saying, do you use Ahsoka to block up Boba? Or do you just kind of accept that he's going to get the flank and try and make him a bit of a non-issue by neutering Bosk as much as possible? The problem with bumping Boba is that he's going to get the I5 focus from Han anyway, and then he gets actually a reroll from the bump because you'd be at range 0 to 1. So what do you think the most appropriate decision tree is here?
I think you forget about Boba right now. Just try and chew down on Bosk. I think that's what he's started to do. I think that's what he needs to keep going.
Yeah, nice.
I think that the one benefit of actually blocking Boba this turn is not this turn. It'll be that Ahsoka will be facing up, or where are we? In that way, it will be facing up the board and can then start to get around behind Bosk in the next few turns. The problem will be that proximity mine.
Yeah, nice. So I thought we just had an electronic baffle trigger there, but looks like Akhter has decided against it, and he's kept the stress. Probably just accepting the fact that Bosk is going to get bumped by Wedge. 10 dice into Bosk is a lot. Even more, actually. No, he is going to spend electronic baffle. There you go.
Yeah.
So a very good chance that Bosk actually gets initiative killed here, to be honest. We're going to have a double modded shot from Luke, a very likely double modded shot from Ahsoka, and a single modded shot from Hera. What do you think the answer is? I mean, you're just going to have to accept it. Do you do a 3 hard and just kind of get in Ahsoka's way to prevent, or to try and prevent shots?
I think they got a 3 bank on them, on the slavers. I think I might like the 3 bank right in there in front of Luke. It might even bump Luke doing his 1 forward or 1 bank. If you can minimize, and it would almost definitely, unless Hera's just done a 1 forward or 1 bank, it might not quite bump that. But I think, doing the 3 bank right in, right behind where Wedge is, or about right where Wedge is now. And what's Boba's blues? What can Boba do?
1 banks, 1 forward, 2 forward. So he has the easiest 1 bank around that, like towards kind of the center of the board. Just really easy time. Even if he gets bumped, he's going to get double mods. There was a reason that this Boba really dominated the very beginning of 2.0, I would say. Just absolutely immense amounts of efficiency here. You can't block him because of Han Solo Gunner. You can't get behind him because of proximity mines. You can't force him into any specifically bad positions because of contraband cybernetics. And then the addition of auto blasters has really helped him as well to try and get like automatic damage in. Just a savage, an absolute savage. So even if Suresh gets the spike damage that he needs to remove Bosk here, Boba's just going to be such a pain in the ass in the late game.
He's gone Marauder over Slave 1, so not the change your dial to the different location, but the extra reroll out the back.
And the gunner slot, yeah, because you don't get the gunner slot with the Scum Slave 1, only the Separatist Slave 1.
And that's what gives him the Han Solo. Got it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So interesting turn coming up here. Chat, any thoughts on what we should be doing, or what you would be doing in these situations from both players? Let's hear it.
Yeah, my predictions are a 1 bank from Boba in towards Ahsoka, and a 3 bank from Bosk. But knowing Akhter, he probably pulls the handbrake on again and stops.
The stop is deceptively powerful, but I think Bosk probably wants mods now. So Suresh taking a little bit of time to set his dials, I think, because he knows how much damage is potentially coming in. It might even be safer to burn Ahsoka's charges to get Hera multiple sets of tokens. So then you can kind of keep your entire squad alive. Blanks considered.
Yeah. I think so. What did he trade? He traded 2 shields, but one of them was his own doing on Bosk for 1 shield on Ahsoka.
Correct. Yeah.
Which was that auto blaster not being able to evade that crit.
It's such a good little trick against 4 dice ships or 3 dice. Against 4 hull or 3 hull ships.
Yeah.
You know, you get out of Arc, you get a couple of rerolls with Lone Wolf or otherwise, maybe Crassus Trellix, and you get half points before you know it. It's absolutely savage.
Oh yeah.
Both players taking a long time to set dials here. There's probably a little bit of friendly banter and discussion going on behind the scenes.
Call it out. Call it out. Slow play.
Okay, call it what it is. We've got Senator Ryan in the chat saying that he's just going to be rolling dice to eliminate his opponent's ships. A good strategy. A good strategy.
Yeah. It's worked before. There we go.
So
We've gone hard in with wedge.
we have, yeah. I think that's going to be blocking the 3 bank, maybe. It definitely
3
does.
bank jumps over that.
Yeah, jumps over it.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh,
3 bank called it.
nice. So we're going to block Hera's 2 bank, most likely. Now, cheekily, Ahsoka could do a 2 forward, spend 2 force, and coordinate a barrel roll onto Hera to prevent her getting bumped. And I think that's probably a really good option. Yeah.
No, Hera's stressed, so you can't coordinate.
You can.
Oh, you can with
Ahsoka. Yeah, she's naughty.
Ahsoka's so good.
Yeah, she is. So I wonder if he just accepts the bump, because Hera having tokens here is incredibly important for the rest of his squad. He's thinking about it. I think you should do it, Suresh. I think you should burn some force and give everyone... Yeah, there we go. So we're doing it. We're probably going to coordinate a barrel roll, or maybe even a boost to jump over the top. No, we're coordinating a focus, accepting the bump. Now it's Ahsoka's turn for an action. I would probably say just an evade. So you got force evade for defense, because you've got a lot of shots coming in. Well, not a lot of shots, but a lot of high quality shots. Twitchy 5x5. So if you read Ahsoka's pilot ability, it's actually after you fully execute a maneuver, you may choose a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 and spend 2 food force. That ship may perform an action even while stressed. So she's really a beautiful utility piece.
He's counting on Hera landing there, not bumping at all.
You reckon? Okay,
Yeah,
so what's he done? He's done
a one bank with Hera.
Oh, the wings are still open with Luke too.
Ooh. Has he got arc on that back corner?
I don't think he does.
Was that a 1 forward? That was the 2 forward almost, wasn't it?
Luke did a 2 forward. Yeah.
I like the 1 forward from Luke better.
He might just snip the back corner. I'm not entirely sure. I think the 1 forward was probably a safer option. And here's the menace himself, Boba, coming in. Going to be putting a lot of pressure on Ahsoka here. I'd say you'd probably have
in trouble.
Yeah, probably have both ships coming in against her. Just so many modifications as well, like the target lock, Han Solo, Boba's own rerolls, and there's the bump with Hera.
I think he was counting on that landing. Otherwise, he would have barrel rolled her.
Yeah, I think the barrel roll might have been a little bit safer, but still going to have a focus to chuck around for his teammates from Hera. Twitchy 5x5, yeah, it's exactly like the Republic one, except she can't do coordinations into her own ships.
This is Ahsoka's proton rockets.
Yep. So we're going to spend a charge there. We've got a massive hit. We're going to spend the target lock if he doesn't feel like spending any of those focus results from Hera. And looks like we've got a massive hit in here.
That is 3 crits, 2 hits. That is going to do some damage to Bosk.
4 crits because of Greedo.
Oh, yes.
And a blank out. So we've got 1 hit and 4 crits.
This is why Bosk has Deadman switch on it.
Yeah. So he's shuffling. We've got the first crit being direct hit. 1, 2. Second crit. Hang on. Oh, another direct hit. No.
This is going to burn quick.
And the third crit. Structural damage, so no green dice. And the last crit is going to be a fuel leak. That was a massive turn. So we wonder if we can see Luke polishing off here. So let me just do a quick little count. Only 3 hull left on Bosk.
Correct. With a fuel leak, you get a crit through. He's in trouble. So this bobber onto Ahsoka, is that right?
Yes, that's right. So Ahsoka burned all of her force charges there to get the double modded or the potentially double modded proton rockets, but didn't end up spending Hera's focus.
Focus, correct. Yeah. Bobber just spends those 2 focus tokens, right?
Yeah, he's not getting shot. I'd definitely spend the focus. Is this an auto blaster hit? Because he's in range 1 out of arc, so he might actually target lock.
Try and get another crit through.
Yeah, because if he gets another crit through, I mean, Ahsoka's just dead. There's nothing she can do. He's thinking about it.
That would make the 4 dice as well as his normal attack. Yeah. Auto blaster's so good.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. I think you have to spend the target lock here. No. How's he doing? How's he making 1 a crit? Does he have marksmanship? No.
He re-rolls and just tries for it.
I think so. He gets 1 more crit, right? 1 more crit and she's dead. Even if that fails, if you lose Bosk here, the dead man switch finishes her off. So I think it's the move. Komodo, it's 25% on each dice. And as I said, if Luke does manage to kill Bosk, then you've already got 1 hull left on Ahsoka after this, so it's just an automatic dead.
No, he's just spending the focus.
I mean, he might kill it. Yeah, so it's going to be a dead Ahsoka no matter what.
And this is what Bosk is designed to do, is just trade up.
Yeah, absolutely. Always trade up. It's an absolute savage. So what crits do we get on Ahsoka there? We got a console fire, 2 console fires. Okay.
Is that no arc from Luke?
So it must have been, yeah. So it said no valid target. So no shot from Luke. And Bosk is going to get a free shot into Luke here.
Yeah, for 4 hits. Oh, 1's a crit.
I don't believe it should be a crit because Greedo already got triggered.
You have now reached your destination.
It doesn't trigger. Greedo doesn't trigger. So Greedo, as long as the charge is up, that's when other people can change their hits to crits, and then he can spend his charge when he's attacking. So Bosk.
Okay, so
to change it. So it's just a risk for higher PS. Chips can modify their dice hits to crits, but no charge gets spent doing that.
Okay, perfect. And we did see Luke go to 2 hull down.
That's massive. So this is perfect for Akhter. He's traded Boss for one of the A-Wings. It soaked up one of the Prockets, and he's more than halved Luke. And he's still alive on 3 hull.
Did we have a panicked pilot there as well, or what's the stress from?
Is the stress gone on Boss because he made Luke reroll something? So that was with Zuckuss, is that right? So while you perform an attack, if you are not stressed, so he wasn't, he may choose the, 1 defense dice and gain a stress token. If you do, the defender must re-roll that dice. So he's made Luke re-roll his defense dice,
And taking the stress, yeah.
and so Bosk has got that stress on him. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Sorry, I thought that the stress was on Luke, so it's cleared up now. Here we go. So with 40 minutes to go, we've got advantage most likely to Akhter, because even with Bosk very nearly dead, the options for Suresh to respond to Boba late game are rapidly decreasing.
Yeah, and if they're going to want to try and finish off Bosk here, they're going to be doing K turns and stuff like that. I think that's way too risky, not getting any modifications. Boba's coming in and is going to light you up, just like he did before to Ahsoka.
So what are you going to try and do here as Suresh? Do you Talon roll with Luke? Do you just get out of there? I mean, Wedge is in a good position to try and set up a flank next turn, or the turn after next. And Hera, she just kind of needs to be a token battery, right? She needs to get out of there, take shelter behind that gas cloud, and pass some tokens around.
If I was going to Talon roll with Luke, it would be a Talon roll to the left, behind that rock, and then start circling around behind Bosk, trying to get behind him. You want to finish him off, and then you got to start getting shots on Boba. I'm not convinced turning everything around to try and get Bosk this turn is the best option. You could turn Hera in and try and get a bump on Boba this turn.
Could do, yep.
Stop him moving up and getting shots on anyone else. So it might be a wedge come around that gas cloud, Hera turn in on Boba, and Luke run away to the left.
Yeah, absolutely. As Komodo has pointed out in the chat, Boss could probably just bump into Hera here to prevent Hera getting the block on Boba. So I think the only way that Hera jumps over Bosk here is with the 3 hard. But then to get not to get the block on Boba, but to bump into Boba, it might not be the best option, because Bosk, as Komodo's pointed out, can just sit still. So yeah, a bit of a pickle for the Rebel player here. Bit of a pickle.
Yeah, it's always a tricky one when you got to go after the big heavy hitter, because it's the easiest to kill straight up, and you end up letting Boba flank you. It's it all ends in a mess. So I think that Akhter is probably like 1, maybe 2 turns away from entering his end game with enough ships killed.
Yeah, 100%. I guess the only thing that
Boba to just do Boba.
Yeah, the only thing that he really needs to worry about now is that Hera proton rocket, because that could cause some problems. But apart from that, I think you're right in that the end game is close. How do you utilize Little Wedge's ability? You know, you really got to get that important flank. Maybe you use Wedge to try and kill Bosk here, and prevent any dead man switch triggers from damaging your ships further.
Yeah. So he's done a sloop with Wedge. Oh, Bosk is doing a hard turn coming around.
Yeah, he's getting out of there. So we actually might trade Luke for Bosk here, which means, Bosk. Yeah. So even if Luke does not initiative kill Bosk, I think Bosk does not have a shot this round. So it's going to be an interesting turn. I mean, can Boba deal with Luke here? Can Boba kind of do that 2 damage required? I think you probably boost in and boost in and take a good shot at him.
Yeah, I think I would have boosted with Bobber then. I think there's still a scary one hard here from Hera that can get those prockets off on Bobber.
Yeah, even if Hera just runs here and takes an evade action, it's very likely that Luke sees to live another day. So an evade action with all the force in the world, that's going to cause a lot of problems for Akhter's Boba here in terms of getting damage through. And there it is. Yep. So we're going to dodge the arc. Probably take an evade here.
Yeah, and pass it to Luke. I think this has worked out almost perfectly for Suresh. I don't think he loses Luke here.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the boost would have really put the pressure on. Even with the evade, you're very likely to get the damage through, and you'd also have two rerolls off of Hera and off of Luke in terms of Boba's offense.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Hera, no shot, but Luke could seal the deal here and actually kill Bosk. And the reason that Bosk probably ran away is to prevent any shield damage being done by Luke. So he's not going to have... He will have one green dice, even with the structural damage. Hit. So even with... so it should only be one dice because of the structural damage. Is not going to matter, though, because of the fuel leak. So that is a dead Bosk.
Yep. Gone. Oof.
Gone. So hit, crit. I'm just going to be a good host and make sure that we get the crit right on the overlay. What is it? Oh, he's not even going to... Oh, no, it's another fuel leak.
You get a couple of direct hits and fuel leaks there on Boss. It's not...
Yeah, it's pretty savage, isn't it?
For him.
So advantage might have swung a little bit to Suresh here. Hera's going to be able to be a beautiful token battery for the Rebel Squadron. And yeah, I mean, we've had a flip, I guess, because if Luke survives this shot, then we're going to have some Luke shots coming in next round. You'd probably happily trade a range 1 Luke for a range 1 Boba just to get some spike damage through. And Wedge can actually be a massive issue here, only allowing Boba to roll 1 defense dice.
Yes, correct.
Ooh, gonna have hit, crit. Should be all right with 3 dice, 2 force, and an evade. And there it is. The evade gets
evade from Hera. No
Beautiful.
Damage.
Hera is such a problem, isn't she? Such a problem.
Yep.
So we'll see how much damage Little Wedge plinks off here. But that was a really good shot. A little opportunity. I think the boost probably would have been better, as I said. You would have had a range 1 shot on Luke. You would have 2 rerolls. You would have the focus from Han. I guess the only thing that you'd have to be conscious about is being stressed and facing the bottom of the board edge. 1 little crit. Should be all right with a reroll. Doesn't anyway.
All right. So where do you go with Boba now?
Well, do you utilize your rear arc here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
because you've got the proxies as well, so you can just start laying them on Luke. Like if Luke lands a proxy, that's not nice.
I mean, that's just dead Luke, right? And also you get an additional reroll from Marauder title.
Yep.
The proxy threat on both Luke and Wedge, which is really prevalent. And then Hera kind of has to hover around this gas cloud to try and keep the token sharing going. What do you do with Hera here? Just a 2 bank?
Kind of want to keep it close to the other ships. Do you do another Talon roll and just keep running behind them, so you forget about this turn? You're not token sharing this turn, but you can follow up chasing Boba around.
Yeah, I think you probably, because Boba can do a 1 bank with a boost, then get the tokens for offense with Han, and he gets at least one reroll. So I think you're probably better off maintaining token sharing. Maybe even a 2 hard toward the bottom of the board edge here. Hop over the top of wedge and just hang on to another evade. And you can kind of get Boba into the half points range. Then that proton rocket really becomes an issue. Yeah, because you're also going to be using it potentially before Boba even gets to trigger Han Solo Gunner to get a focus token. So I think you probably want to stay on Boba's tail, stay within token sharing range.
Start of engagement, not start of his engagement, doesn't he?
It's start of his engagement, yeah, not the start of the engagement phase. So Hera can shoot those proton rockets at a six before you focus.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. The 2 hard with Hera the next 2 turns and keep the tokens going. But yeah, Boba for sure just banks or hard turns down towards the bottom of the board.
Yeah, you're just stressed, so you don't want to take a white maneuver because then that turns off harm trigger. So you might be a little bit stuck here. I mean, Luke or Wedge could actually bump you. So I wonder what we do. What do you reckon? If you actually keep Boba's arc kind of facing the way it is now with some clever bumps, you can also really prevent the proton rockets. The proximity mines being dropped. So there's definitely agency or I guess an argument to be made for that kind of direction.
One boost might was that a white maneuver? No, he clears that. He might get a banky boost fitting in there.
Could do with a little focus, yeah, but he's just going to take a target lock.
Target lock. Makes sense.
And not going to go for the bump just yet. He's left his wings open. So I think he's just going to accept the fact that Boba's going to be dropping proximity mines. I might have been tempted for a little 2-bank there and a boost to block up Boba and prevent those proxy mines being dropped.
All right, Luke's barrel rolling. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, interesting. I think that's potentially a little misplay, assuming that Boba does the left bank and then the left bank boost as well. So we'll see. Okay, he's gone for a 3-bank. I'm just going to accept the fact that he's stressed. And now the proximity mines are fully online.
Yeah.
Interesting moves. I'm excited to see what Hera does here. I wonder if we can get Luke survive for yet another round.
Luke can't turn in next turn onto Boba because he'll eat that proxy.
Yeah, I think the only move that he has there is probably a 1-bank. What's he doing? Why is he? He's taking the stress. He should be. Oh, he's done a contraband. Okay.
Contraband. Should have done that first, Akhter. Naughty boy.
Yeah. He probably said it. So just for us, he's done a contraband cybernetics trigger.
Yeah.
There's Hera's 2-hard. Going to get the evade to share around. So how are you going to do this, though? What are you going to do next turn to try and avoid any of these proxy mines being, I guess, a factor of this game? Do you have to go straight with Wedge?
Yeah, Luke can just go straight and then boost down in between those 2 rocks. And Wedge might need to do the same. Go straight and then barrel roll one of the 2 sides of this rock.
Yeah, 100%. And then we see the power of Hera again, keeping Luke on 1 health remaining. So passing off an evade, spending a force there, and for double evades. And we're going to see Wedge following up, trying to do some more chip damage into Boba. But I think, as you've mentioned previously, Ben, Boba's dangerously close to just kind of having his effective endgame scenario here.
What did you get the reroll for?
Lone Wolf.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, it doesn't pay off though.
Endgame Boba. Love it. Yeah, I think if you can get rid of Luke, this is Akhter's without losing his shields. I think this is Akhter's game.
Yeah, completely agree. So he's really got to. Suresh is in kind of. I guess you could say it's Akhter's game to lose here. I mean, his endgame piece is probably just going to be a one bank, start dropping some of these proximity mines, and just trying to prevent Hera from dumping proton rockets into him. I think the trick with Suresh, though, is going to be trying to keep his pieces alive and get a really, really important double modded proton rocket shot into Boba to try and get half health in the late game.
Yeah.
So, chat, what do we reckon? How do we avoid these these proximity mines? Do we just do a 2 forward with Wedge and then a focus boost around, and a 1 bank with Luke? What do we reckon? Does that avoid the proximity mines?
Hera, the chat saying Hera is really good. That token sharing, firsthand, tell them how good Hera is.
Yeah,
Pass the
combined with
tokens
Kid,
around.
it's just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it can be a hard nut to crack.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a very good example of Hera because you've still got the sharing with Ahsoka, and you've got the passive force on Luke, but I think this is probably Hera light and not quite as degenerate as she needs to be. So pretty close. So we're going to have Suresh needing 15 points to lead, and Akhter currently leading by 14 points. So, I mean, the only way that you do this in Suresh's position is keeping your pieces alive and slowly grinding your way to half health on Boba.
I just don't know how you keep Luke alive without, like, you need him to get those guns on.
Yeah, 100%. You're probably just going to have to rely on range 3 shots, and just hope that you just consistently roll good pitches on the defense and have Hera kind of backing you up there. Surely we drop a proxy mine here, though, right?
Has to. I think Suresh can get out of it, but I think Akhter needs to do it regardless.
McLovin 9946 says, just reset, go left with both Wedge and Luke, maybe keep the pressure on with Hera with the arc dodge. You only need half on Boba, and 25 minutes is a long time left in the game. That's absolutely correct. The problem is if you allow the reset and Boba sneaks in a cheeky half, or continues to kind of do damage to Luke, then you might be at risk of falling behind a little bit too much. Does the 1 bank fit?
Maybe. I think I love the barrel roll from Luke now. If Luke hadn't have barrel rolled, Luke would be eating this 100%.
Yeah, so it was a good foresight from Suresh there. I think you do a focus boost here with Wedge, just trying to keep the 2 dice gun on Boba and keep him honest.
Yeah. Boba's more than likely starting to turn his flank, which is exactly where Wedge wants to be, not getting shot at and taking those shots in the side. Oh, no, wanting to eat the proxy.
Okay, so he's going to jump.
He's obviously got Luke. He's obviously got Luke coming down.
So it's going to take half on Wedge there because it's an automatic 1 damage. Interesting move. So the barrel roll didn't pay off then, in terms of positioning. He must have definitely been overlapping the proxy mine with Luke. So very interesting move.
And a boost.
Wonder what we've seen with Luke here then. They're too hard. Oh, it's close. I do wonder if he would have fit. I think he might have.
I think he would have fit and then been able to do a barrel roll down the board.
But if it doesn't work, then you're in trouble, right?
But you half Luke. Wedge to keep Luke on 1 health. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. So Akhter now has a 32-point lead. I mean,
I
looked.
genuinely think that Suresh forgot about that proxy mine. There's
Oh
there's
yeah,
no way he set in those dials without with knowing that it was going to drop.
yeah, fair enough. I think that Boba is in a position to kill Wedge here. Hera's going to have to really work hard, and Suresh is
Getting
going to have to
range.
get some good defense rolls to keep Wedge alive here. Or do you just keep shooting Luke? What would you do, Ben?
Nah, I think if you can't get the token sharing all the way to Wedge, then you just go in on Wedge. Yeah, he's taking a target lock on Wedge now. He's going to try and off him. It's up to range 2. I think Hera could take the evade and boost.
Yeah, I think you evade boost here.
You got to keep your 3 ships alive. You've got to get that evade, being able to share around to whoever's getting attacked here.
Hang on, did we switch? Okay, so we're actually going to go for Luke here instead of Wedge.
Yep.
So Suresh might have just jumped the gun a little bit on his dial reveal. But we are going to have an evade boost here, I'd say, from Hera. And it's actually going to be a pretty hard nut to crack with Luke. You're going to get a reliable 3 hits, but you're going to pretty reliably get 3 evades as well.
Yeah, with the force and the evade token.
All right, so we're going to do some chip damage here, potentially at Boba. I don't believe Boba should have a focus just yet, because he took a target lock. But we're going to have Luke here firing, so it's going to be a pretty reliable 3 hits. We're going to spend the target lock. And yeah, really banking on the fact that Hera's evade will kind of get you over the line here. I would not be spending any force.
Oh, he's tempted. He wants to. He's
Don't
going to
do it.
spend
He's
one.
done it.
He spends one, but he gets one back as soon as he gets targeted.
Yep.
So that's
Totally
fine.
Do you lone wolf here?
One. Got Wedge.
No,
Going to
just
drop
gonna
your
take it.
utility. Oh, okay.
And here's the important return shot.
So if you choose to go into Luke, Luke will get his force back. Oh, he's going to go into Wedge.
I think that's the appropriate move, because you're just not going to do any damage to Luke at range 3.
Yeah.
You get a lone wolf reroll and a marauder reroll. Needs them both.
Yeah.
So here's the lone wolf roll, or is he just going to do both at the same time?
He's just going to do both.
Yeah, lone wolf, marauder. Only gets 2, so he might be safe.
Wedge is safe. Got the evade from Hera, so.
So he does, and did need it too.
Yeah, so gets it. It's down to 1 hull. So he's got both Luke and Wedge limping on next to nothing.
And going to get a 2v1 shot here with Wedge. I think you probably spend all the mods that Wedge has, just because you're just going to assume the Wedge is dead next turn without a shot. And only getting 1 damage in here.
Yeah, 1 crit. It'll only be 1 green dice. Did you roll it already?
Not yet, no.
I think he has. I think he's already set his dial. So I think he must have rolled this
Oh,
one
can't
here,
roll
and
one.
it's
Yep,
got
my
an evade
bad.
on it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So dodged it.
All right, chat. What do we think? So Hera can't just go straight because of the proxy mine. She's probably going to have to do a 2-bank left. Do you send in Wedge for the bump here and try and kind of keep Luke in Boba's flank?
I actually like not dropping the proxy here. Just the threat of it now, Suresh knows about it. He's got to move around it and then just not dropping it.
Yeah, the little tempt. So tempt him to move away anyway, and then not drop it.
And to be honest, I like the one hard down towards the bottom of the board.
Okay, so you're going to come in towards the right-hand side here.
Yeah, I think it fits. To his right, yeah. So
Yeah.
Boba turns a one hard to the right.
Yeah, it'll definitely fit, and you'll get. Yeah, so if you're going to anticipate the wedge block, the wedge is probably, Suresh is thinking that Boba's going to go left. What do you do as wedge then? Do you too hard, and do you reckon Suresh has big brained that play?
I reckon Suresh is doing like a 3 forward. What do they got? Blue. They got like a 5 forward blue, don't they? The A-wings.
Yeah, 5 forward blue. Yep.
Probably don't even need to go that fast. Like 4 or 5 forward with wedge. Oh yeah, 3 was it?
Just a 2, just a cheeky 2. It's probably going to take a focus and boost, or just stay in the flank. You never know. But I think the one hard is looking better and better for you here as Akhter.
Yeah.
No bomb drop, as we said.
Yeah. But we'll see. Hera, I think Hera's had to do the bank or the hard turn to try and get out of that. There you go. One hard down.
Look at
Boba. Not getting shot by wedge.
Mm.
And gets a nice shot back out the back.
Yeah, with 2 evades though, it's pretty hard to punch damage through, I'd say. A wedge has actually lost a hull as well. I'm sorry.
Yes, wedge is only on 1.
Yep. So yep.
So both Luke and Wedge are only on 1 hull. Yep.
Can Suresh do it? How much time has he got left? 16 minutes. So 16 minutes to get half on Boba. And did you say, Boba was 124 points. Just an absolutely monstrous.
He's a monster. Yeah. So regardless, you're going to be keeping on to those, whatever it is, 60, 62 points or whatever. And what's Hera, for example, were?
She's 47. So you're going to have Hera plus a ship alive at the end of it. Yeah. So double evade here on Wedge and force evade on Luke at range 3. So I think your best shot is probably Luke.
Yeah. And it's the biggest gun he's got on the table, other than the Procket's still there. I think it's the biggest gun. I think you take that shot.
100%. And I think Wedge is in trouble with the proxy mines next turn.
Yeah, Wedge can't afford to engage next turn.
Spend a force for 3. And probably going to be spending...
You spend it and stay alive, yep.
Focus, yeah. And then use... you can't do another focus action because you've just done one. So no defensive mods, but he doesn't need any because he's not getting any more shots.
Yep. He'll go into Luke.
I think you have to. Wedge with double evade, kind of just auto evades this damage. Yeah.
As long as he rolls one natural
one
evade,
squiggle, yeah.
Then he'll evade that whole lot.
So assume that all of Suresh's ships make it to the next turn. What are you going to do? Do you follow Boba around the board edge, or is this the turn to reset?
Like we said, Wedge can't turn in. Wedge, because of the bomb. He's got a lone wolf reroll. Or
lone wolf or order, yeah. And probably not taking any damage as long as he gets one pitcher.
Who was he shooting into?
Luke, yeah.
It's
the right call.
But he evades it all.
Yeah. So I think we had who did we have say for the reset? I'm just trying to find the comments.
Yeah. Wedge needs to turn away, cannot turn right.
Yeah, so McLovin. Yeah, so McLovin, I think you're right in terms of this turn. You might actually want to reset here. Boba's going to have to do a 1 hard to stay on the board, and then he's probably going to do a boost to the left to keep his rear arc active. And we could have Hera, Wedge, and Luke kind of bail out and come around for another joust of some sort. Is this the turn that you try and set up a target lock with Hera?
I think so. Luke's not too scared of the proxy. He could do a hard 2 and a boost, but the problem is that Bob is still going to get his rear arc on with the 1 hard boost.
Yeah, I honestly think that the best option for Suresh is to run
away,
play the clock, and then make sure that he kind of gets like half health.
Enough time to get back in.
Yes,
got
exactly.
12 minutes to go.
12 minutes to get half health and not lose any ships. I wonder if the 3 hard off Wedge might dodge the proxy mines. So you do a 3 hard, but then you can't do a boost to get a shot. Yeah, I know a lot of people are arguing that this is the turn that where Boba's going to end up, but you also know that Boba's rear arc is going to get shots on all of your ships, maybe bar Hera. So it might be the turn to reset and kind of play the clock a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So he's not dropping the bomb, and we're going to have a turn away. And this is clever because Wedge, no matter what, is going to be able to get a good flank on Boba, because the 1 hard to the right and then the 1 boost to the left. Okay, he does decide to turn in.
I think he just stays there and
focuses maybe.
Focuses up, yeah.
It's risky though, isn't it? Because if you don't trade well here, you've just given away half of Luke, which is 31. So you've given Akhter another 31 points, which would be 63 points lead, which is not half of Boba. It's as in it's two.
So you'd have to completely kill Boba if he loses Luke here.
Correct. Yeah, and I think he probably will, if I'm honest, because Boba's got a really nice 1 bank left. That being said, yeah, there it is. So yeah, you're gonna have to get double paint. Actually, you're just gonna have to make sure that that Boba doesn't get 3 hits. That's the big one. Do you boost and fire these prockets before any mods come in?
Oh, potentially. Next turn, you've got more likely of flanking Boba. In that he's
yeah, you can flank Boba with say
even Luke can free bank there.
Yeah, and avoid the proton, the proxy.
Yeah,
you can't get in behind him, really, can you? You just So Suresh is just accepting the fact that Luke's dead. Probably going to try and trade 2 hull. Two shields. So the problem with the Hera lining up the procket is that you essentially automatically take proxy mines next turn, which is a negative scenario. And the problem is, I'm not sure if Suresh knows this, but if he loses the one of these ships, if he loses Luke, then half on Boba won't get him enough points.
Yeah, correct.
Also giving Boba a reroll here.
Yes, he is.
2 hits. Could be some damage.
There is no way that Hera dodges the proxy, though.
Not even with the 1 hard, huh?
Does Akhter now just turn on Hera and just delete
I think
Hera
so.
in this turn and dropping a bomb on her?
Yeah, because that's 47 points as opposed to 31.
What's she contemplating? Spinning a lock?
Yeah, because she's probably accepting the fact that she's dead. But no, we're going to see a reroll here. And safe. So this is the problem. Trading up. Yeah, this is a problem.
That's a range 2 from Luke. Spend that target lock.
Yep. Probably going to get 3 hits here. There it is. So not quite half health because of the hull upgrade, but a chance to really drive this hammer home. Does get one
a reroll,
and
from
lone wolf
if he wants it.
Yeah. So he's going to fire both. Does get 2. So shields down on Boba. Needs 2 more damage to be halved. But if Suresh loses all of Hera here or Luke, then it's pretty much impossible unless Suresh gets the big kill on Boba.
Hera's tokenless. I think you go range 1. That's what he's doing. Into Hera. You can reroll 1.
Well, we've got a pretty bad roll there from Boba, and he's gone into Hera. Has he taken any damage? He's taken 1 shield. So guaranteed half health on Hera next turn, but very unlikely to die.
And didn't spend that target lock, so she can do like a 3 hard and get around and get her rockets off.
Yeah, then we could see
be back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to thank the Cam Damage for actually gifting me a subscription to my own channel. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, so what do? We do a 2 hard or a 3 hard with Wedge, a focus boost in. What do we do with Luke here, chat, and Ben?
I like the 3 bank. I like the you're gonna just hand it away.
The
so
3
scary
bank
to get so scary to get in behind Boba. But
oh, here comes the mine.
Yeah. And does it just automatically land on Hera?
No, I think it's close, but no, I don't think it will.
She can't move anywhere without
bumping it. Yeah.
Maybe
Do you actually like go over it with Luke? No, you can't. You can't lose Luke here. Actually,
can't lose Luke. So you're gonna halve Hera.
Yeah, which is fine. So there's the 3 hard focus boost.
Yeah, he needs to get in quick smart with.
Oh, is he focusing? Yeah, there it is.
Oh, on the rock.
Oh dear. So this could actually be a dead Luke. See what happens. This is an important roll for Suresh, and it is a damage, and that is essentially lost Suresh the game.
That is game over.
Yeah, unless Suresh can kill Boba in the next 4 minutes.
Good luck. What else do you do though? Like the 3 bank would have got him right in Boba's flank, but Boba's about to boost from there.
Yeah, correct. I think you probably bump into Hera there, to be honest, just to kind of keep Luke alive.
Yep. You bank boost, get a shot on Wedge, or do you not get a shot and boost forward? Boost forward still probably gets a shot off Wedge.
Yeah, I think you boost bank.
In towards Wedge there.
Oh, I mean the straight boost. Yeah, there's the straight boost. Let's see how much damage Hera takes from this proxy mine. It could kill her if he rolls 2 natty squiggles. 2 natty hits. Yes, Komodo, it is just shields gone on Boba. Oh, sorry. I haven't updated the overlay. Doesn't take any
Nothing.
damage.
So just one, so half Hera.
Half hero. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see Boba die here. And I don't actually think that the Prockets are a possibility, which is massive. So we're gonna have to do damage to Boba here, and then follow up next turn with Prockets.
Yeah.
It's a big turn.
He's got both shots on now. Boba's only got 6 health left.
Don't spend the lock. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Gonna do it.
For a hit crit,
Hit crit.
we've got one reroll off of Boba.
And evades them both.
And I think that has sealed the deal because we're going to see Boba likely kill Wedge here.
Yeah. And this turn went from 3 ships on the board to potentially 1 half ship on the board.
You are going to have to get the spiciest crit train in the world on Boba with these proton rockets, I'd say. But
just in
unfortunately,
range 3.
Oh, only potentially 2. So we get 1 reroll. Going to be 2 hits, so he could do it.
Crits, yeah.
He's safe.
Safe.
Okay, so what do you do, guys? What do we do? I'm so anxious because there is a world where Suresh wins this. Oh, he's got 2 hits off Wedge too.
Hits there.
Okay, 2 defense dice from Akhter.
Because they're just in range 3.
Oh, this is brutal. Can he do it? If he double blanks out here, then that gets 1. That's in the 1-shot range with the old
From Prockets.
with the old Prockets. Yeah.
It shouldn't be 3 dice. Should be just 2. Yep. Because wedge. He gets 1.
One more reroll. Oh, he's fine.
He dodged it. I say he's only got 6 health left, but he can hold on to those.
I would normally not put it past Suresh to get a spicy crit train. The only problem is, look at the crit train on Bosk. It was direct hit,
That's right.
direct hit, 2 fuel leaks, and a structural damage. So it's going to have to be the remaining direct hits in the deck.
I think Boba's going to turn back down the bottom of the board, try to get away from Hera as much as possible. So if you can do say 2 hard and a boost, there's no way Hera can get her Prockets off.
Yeah. So how do you mitigate that? Do you mitigate that with a wedge bump, or is that not really going to get you shots on Boba?
What it would do is you have to commit wedge to the 3 bank, to the left, to block that. Ooh.
Because assume that Boba's flying by here, but I think Boba's probably. Oh no! There's time. I don't think we're going to get a Prockets launch here either.
I don't think so. I think.
Oh no!
And that was time just before all that happened.
Oh dear.
And Akhter Khan is going to walk away with the win. And the score does not reflect how close that could have been.
No, not at all. So 56 points difference. But yeah, absolutely stunning game. So let's hop into the chat real quick. Ben, do you have access to the chat room that they're in right now?
Yeah, I'll jump in.
All right, let's jump over.
Hey, are we there?
Hey,
Fellas.
hello.
Fantastic game. Game. What a nail biter. Let's start with Akhter. When the spiciest of crit trains got applied to Bosk, how were you feeling?
I was praying that they kept going because I wanted Dead Man to
Dead Man switch. Yep.
Yeah.
And he was 1 hull away from me baffling a Dead Man to hit all 3 of them. There was 7 hull at the end. I was sitting there going, 1 more, give me 1 more.
Absolutely, yeah. So I would be interested to hear your thoughts on what your game plan was here, Akhter, because in the commentary box, Ben and I were just thinking that the the aim for you was to mitigate the proton rockets off of Hera on Boba and just kind of trade up until you lead in the
Yes.
end game.
100%. So the prockets on Boba is fatal, right? So you can't allow that to happen if you can avoid it, right? And because I took a small bid, I was lucky that I got the bid. I mean, coincidentally, I didn't have Auto Blaster on the list for a really big bid, and I thought, I'll put Auto Blaster on, which turned out to save my skin. But effectively, you can't let the prockets hit Boba because he just can't take the damage. And at least with the stop and the way the rocks were and where I positioned Bosk, I sat there and saw the channel, and the first potential procket coming from Ahsoka, I sat there and, well, I can stop and just not take that one. And I knew if I could flank with Boba that I could put pressure on Suresh's list, because it was just it's super dangerous with Boba, because this Boba doesn't care about bumping because he's got Han Solo.
Yeah, 100%. So the next question that I had for you was, even if you say had been allocated first player,
Yes.
are you devastated because you at
No.
least then get the ability to get your focus token before the prockets are fired, right?
Correct. You get the benefit of the PS6 shots still give you still have mods against them because you get a token. Because if you're going first, you kind of play differently as well. So if Ahsoka's gonna shoot me, sorry, if Hera's gonna shoot me, which is unlikely, I can just token up. But even if I don't and I boost and I've got first player, I'm getting that token with Han Solo, which is big with Boba. And I was lucky too, because he wants a knife fight all day, so I get re-rolls, and I've taken Marauder because Marauder gives me that passive re-roll in the back, so that when I have to make a decision to go, right, you know what, I'm just gonna not take the Han Solo because I'm trapped in the corner. Like I had those hard ones, I was trapped in that corner, and I took a gamble and did that instead of this safe soft 3, and I thought, let me do that. Because of my whole plan with that was, if I can go in the corner and he chases me, I can proxy something, and it worked.
Were you happy with your trade for Bosk? Because I said at
Big
the very
time.
start, I said you just need to get rid of Luke and probably at least one of the prockets.
I was getting a little bit upset, but I had no mods, right? So I had no mods on the first shot, did nothing. So Suresh, there was one thing I needed to tell you. When you didn't spend the focus on Wedge against Bosk, that was a terrible decision. Purely because
Bosk just says no to that focus.
Bob just goes full on and says you don't get the focus anyway, so you might as well spend it.
Yeah, no, that's a fair call.
Yeah,
actually,
no, it's fine. It's fine. You just never played it before, so it's fine.
But it is a fair call, and I actually forgot about the dead man switch there. But where I really lost the game is in that same engagement was Luke 2 forward instead of 1 forward.
Yep.
Yes,
that actually lost me the game, because and Akhter and I know we discussed it in our own room, but just for all the people watching, my plan was, if I can trade Ahsoka for Bosk, then I would back myself to beat Boba Fett with my other 3 ships.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, maybe hopefully I don't run Luke over a rock right at the end there. But the problem was even though I got to that state, Luke had 4 damage on him, and he doesn't have that 4 damage if
he never gets damaged enough. He's not even on half.
I might take 1 because you dead man switch, but like 1 is better than 4, and I will back myself to beat Boba Fett with 3 ships. So that's actually where I think I, at a bigger level, lost the game. Yeah, sure, like running over the rock and just completely misjudging that is definitely going to seal the deal for me.
I think the other thing for the streamers is that you had to take the gamble on the barrel roll to take the proxy because you were worried that Luke would touch it.
Yes.
And that was why he barrel rolled onto the proxy, because he was sitting there going, I have to barrel on the proxy in case Luke touches the bomb.
It would have been so close. Did you forget about the proxies that when you were setting your dials, Suresh?
No, he had the bomb. He had a bomb token next to him. He had a bomb token next to him, looking at it, going, "I'm not sure."
So yeah, I spawned a bomb token off to the side just so I could sort of try and eyeball it, and then because I knew it was coming, and I'd set this one bank, and I'm like, I reckon the one bank fits, and then he throws down the bomb token. I'm like, I don't know anymore.
I thought your only move with Luke was going straight fast, like a 4 straight, with Luke to not hit the bomb.
I thought it. Thought the one bank was going to fit, and I just didn't realize how close it was going to be, and I couldn't risk Luke. So I decided to throw down the roll. So that one was a little bit of a last minute change that I didn't anticipate needing to do, because you saw the wedge 2 forwards, which definitely got me past the proxy mine, and then I'm like, no, it's too close. Yeah. It's way too close. So that's okay. I'm not too unhappy. Yes, I made 2 critical flying areas with Luke, and one mostly cost me the game, and the other one sealed the deal. But it was a pretty good game and a really interesting game against Akhter. I actually think my overall strategy was pretty reasonable.
I think it was good. I think it's good. You've got to kill my trader, and my trader was at a serious point of not trading good enough. And in the end, Bosk literally only did 4 hull on Luke, or 4 damage on Luke. But that proved to be enough. That just proved to be enough.
It was enough to actually just cripple the rest of my strategy, which was to play 3 ships against Boba Fett. And as you saw, this is a pretty mean build. You've got a ton of different ways of getting rerolls and a ton of different ways of getting double mods. So it's a serious build.
It's super hard, because at one stage I was going, I have to maximize my hits and hope he double blanks, right, every time, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, God, I got to get rid of Hera, but Hera's hanging around the back going, I'm not getting shot, and Wedge is just being a pain, and Luke is just Luke, and I'm sitting there going, he's like literally immortal right now. And I was just sitting there going, so that's one of the reasons I thought about the hard one, and thought, because it's a terrible idea to trap fire spray in the corner. Really bad strategy, right? But I sat down and I thought, I have to do the one, because I can do a 1 straight boost and pray that I can put a proxy onto something, right? Or just, because it's the only way I'm going to get damage through. And fortunately, I was super lucky. Hera came into range 1, and I didn't get the roll I wanted to, even with the Bobber reroll and Marauder, and I could have got her in serious trouble. But she was out of position at that point, and then that was good.
Yeah. The move into the corner. Yeah, I thought I could punch through more damage, and then man those rerolls.
Yeah, Bobber's just nuts. If he gets into range 1 of something, and the reason I like this build is this is my default Bobber build. I don't like Slave 1. The reason I don't like Slave 1 is it's too easy just to go, well, okay, well, I'll just do the other one because I got blocked. So I like to challenge myself when I fly Bobber, and the Marauder reroll at the back just gives me a hand solo upgrade. And because of the points change, you can't have a crew slot on Bobber. That allows me to put the auto blaster onto Bobber. And what I've found is when you play this, which is super fun to play, it's not very competitive nowadays with all the beef, but if you can get that auto blaster going, like in against Ahsoka, she only died because I had ability to just get to her and put 4 dice, bullseye, auto blaster, and I got 1 crit through on the first roll, and then she's down to 3, so that gives me a real chance to kill her.
Yeah, exactly.
Suresh, I just have one final question for you.
Yeah, man.
Turn that you turned in too hard with Luke, and you also turned in with Hera and took the target lock boost, while also disengaging with Wedge. Do you think there would have been any leverage into disengaging with all of your ships and taking a target lock with Hera on the exit, and then setting up for like a big spike damage and trying to hedge the bet that you get half on Boba in the last kind of few engagements?
In hindsight, yeah, definitely. The other thing that does give me the option to do is play a sacrificial Wedge and run Wedge over that last proxy mine. Or I mean,
Yes.
or if you could try to choose to kill wedge like that, that's okay too. Whatever, and that just does a few different things. So yeah, in hindsight, with the state of the game as it was, with only a few minutes left, it was probably the wrong play there to disengage with wedge. I really just needed to keep the pressure up.
I had for ages before I did that. When I was over here and stressed, I had a one soft bank, and I thought he's going to pull out. And I had a one soft booked in for ages. Had I got that, I could have then boosted behind Luke and just literally 4-diced him or proxied him and killed him. And I sat there for ages, was just sitting there, and then I just decided to just take the safe route and use my cybernetics, take a token, and just run.
100%. Well, look, thanks so much, guys, and a big thank you to Ben Lorking for commentating with me. I really appreciate it, my man, and hopefully we can get you on again, either in a playing capacity or again commentating, because it was a very enjoyable time.
Too easy.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ben.
Cool.
All right,
Thanks,
guys. So
who's playing in the last game?
we've got Liam Early up against Rick Warner, and we've got we've got Liam Early up against Brendan Morrissey, and
Okay.
Suresh and Rick Warner commentating. So do stick around. We're going to launch in about 10 minutes. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for everyone to come. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming on, and we'll see you in 10 minutes.